Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Tarot with Mama T. My name is Teresa and I'm here for a reading for the collective for the date of Wednesday, September 10th. The month is getting away from us. This is going to be another short one. I've already looked at the cards on this particular pull because I'm pulling from another deck that I find challenging. This is not a tarot deck. This is it's called the Cantigee Oracle. And there's just so much in this particular oracle that in order to do a short video, I needed to definitely look at these cards ahead of time. So I will pause and flip the camera over and then I'll show you what we've got. Okay, for our first card, and a lot of these cards have nudity, so they all get decorated with some washi tape. Find washi tape thin enough that it doesn't interfere with shuffling and doesn't permanently mar the cards. So I hate to do that with markers. Okay, so the first one that we get is called "The Chasm Shrinks as You Step Across," and the key thing about this particular card is that it represents a change that you've been longing for, but it seemed out of reach. But it's now, here it is. All of a sudden, here it is. And the time is ripe to move on to the next phase and leave the old phase behind. It's just a time for courage and realizing that what was formerly impossible or you didn't think was actually going to happen, it's now upon you. So, I mean, we live in this life of, established patterns like place and relationship and career or interest, community, our belief system. But inevitably change comes along and shifts things so that once felt right over here no longer does, and we have to go over here. Once we know where we're going to move, it's time to take the leap. And a couple of the questions that this card asks is, what if the hard things that you face are actually easier to get through than you think? The chasm shrinks as you step across. While you're standing over here, it looks really big, but once you start to move, you can see the possibilities. And what if your fear is actually a form of excitement? So there's that card. The middle card is a fork in the river. So this is another card kind of like choice. As you're traveling, pardon me, I've got a frog in my throat. I haven't said many words yet this morning. As you're traveling along on a river, if you've ever traveled by river, you know it's much easier to go with the flow than against it. And so as you're traveling along and you're just going with the flow, then suddenly the river forks. And then you have to make a choice. And it kind of brings to mind the poem, The Path Not Taken. I think it was it Robert Frost? I think it's a Robert Frost poem. And it's basically, if you don't know anything about the territory ahead, then it's really impossible to know which of your options are going to be easier, harder, more or less fulfilling. Even if you pause to take a moment to make a decision, there's no way of telling. And so, you just have to choose and respond as well as you can with whatever comes up along your path or your tributary. And the guidance from this one is to stop thinking and start noticing. And it says that, think about your body may already be telling you what the best choice is if you just pause and kind of meditate, get into your body and feel how you feel with each of your options. And then the other question to ask is, what if I can really handle and thrive in any and all unforeseen or outcomes? Because you can. And then the final card that we have today is the number 2 card. This one was number 1437, and this one's number 2. And the number 2 card says, you don't know where you are, but you're free. And that kind of says it all, especially with us just having gone through the 9/9 portal, the eclipse season. You know, the idea is just to embrace the beginner's mind, embrace the fool's journey concept. Shed your assumptions, experience the infinite freedom available in each moment when you don't have those assumptions that are kind of weighing you down. When you don't know how things are supposed to be, then you're much more open to possibility, and that's when you feel lighter and more spontaneous and free. And the questions on this card in the book say, what if I have access to absolute freedom in this moment? And what if I pretend that, like a newborn baby, I don't know anything right now? So just jump into it. Jump into it. Adopt a beginner's mindset. Ask questions, and then you can learn along the way. Well, I didn't make it under 5 minutes, but I did try to keep it short. Thank you for joining me so much. I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you like this kind of content. And I will see you in my next video. Bye now.